Hey guys, it's zMetapod here, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to be going into episode 2 of our So You Want to Use Commander series. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at Ugthak. Alright guys, so like we said, today's commander is going to be Ugthak. So the way it came out to Ugthak today is that I actually am spinning a wheel of every commander in the game, and it just happened to start on Ugthak, and you can see my reaction to it right now. All right, guys, just look at this wheel. It's gonna take so long to get through every single commander, but it's gonna be fun while we do it. So let's see what episode 2 is gonna be. Who is episode 2 going to be? Oh, it's gonna be Ugthak. Okay. I have not used Ugthak since season 1. I'm gonna have to look at some of his stuff. All right. Well, Ugthak coming up. So basically, at the end of every episode, I'm going to be spinning that wheel so you can actually see who's going to be the next commander for the next video. So make sure to stay to the end so you can actually see who we're going to be talking about next. But as I said, today is going to be Ugthak. So I want to try to make these videos a little bit shorter, so I'm going to try to go through a little bit quicker. So with that being said, let's just get started. So let's take a look at Ugthak's skills. So Ugthak is actually what I would call a hybrid commander, to where he has two ways he can be built, and that kind of shows in his skills. So let's start with Pursuer, where at level 10, it's going to do 400% physical damage once to enemy formations, and it's going to deal an additional 100% physical damage once when attacking, and the commander initiative will go up +5. Uruk-hai Elite, the attack of the commander's formation plus 25, which is modified by command, so every 100 command, it's going to go up by 4. At level 5, attack of orcs and Uruk-hai is going to be +3. The commander attack will go +5 at level 10. Searing Axe is going to be it's kind of his special ability because he's got his cool axes. But basically, the normal attacks are going to have 50% chance to deal 300% burn damage in addition. And upon attacking, the burn damage is going to stack up to 6 times at 5%. So if you get this fully stacked, that's another extra 30% burn damage. And it increases burn damage rate to 60% at level 10. So instead of 50%, it'll be 60%. Not a huge jump, but it's still better than being at 50%. All right, and then Warlord, it's going to be the attack of orcs and Uruk-hai in units in 2 allied formations. It could be yours or an ally's. It's not always going to be yours. It's like a 50-50 shot, and it's going to be modified by the command stat. So every 100 command, it's going to go up +3. At level 5, initiative of orcs and Uruk-hai +5, and then at level 10, he's actually one of 3 commanders, I believe, in the game that actually has a siege skill, where the orcs and Uruk-hai in this formation will do +8% siege damage. So even if you don't use him in your main formation, just know that you can use him for siege. That's really good to know once you get him to respect 4. All right, so knowing what we know about these skills, there's actually 2 ways you can build him, like we said. So he can either do commander damage or he can do unit damage. So I'm actually going to put on the screen right now what I would do for commander damage first, along with the gear to make it quicker. And then after that, I'm going to go through and do the same for the troop damage formation. All right. So what I would do for gear is that you can see on the screen from gold, purple, blue, and green all the way down. And then how I would skill him for this is that for commander damage, you of course want to be go into Pursuer. It's going to be his main damage dealing move skill. And then next will be Searing Axe because you want that extra damage in there as well with the burn. And then, of course, next will be Uruk-hai Elite. You really want to do that as high as you can get. Warlord does not really help here. It's not bad, but these are the main 3 I would put points into. All right. So next, what I would do if it was a troop damage formation, you can see the gear up here. I would actually go into Uruk-hai Elite first. Actually, I really don't think it matters. You can do Uruk-hai Elite and then max out Warlord as well. And then because we're doing troop damage, I would not actually put anything into these 2 abilities. I would go straight into Bloodline to continue getting that increased power. And if he's going to be using troops, you have to make sure you try to get tier 4 Snagas, which were the Isengard tier 4s. I think they're the Uruk-hai tier 4s now. but you want Snagas for sure because they do the most damage basically in the game for troops. So you want to make sure you have them and pair them with him so that way you're getting the most amount of damage possible out of this formation. All right, so next let's look at his relic. So his relic is called the Crimson Axe, and this Crimson Axe, it actually doesn't give very good stats of what you would really want. It gives Commander HP, Commander attack, focus, and attack. So honestly, not horrible, because since he does do burn damage, this does kind of synergize fairly well with his kit if you're doing commander damage. And then let's look at his special ability here. So this commander's burn damage dealt plus 1% after causing burn up to 10 stacks, and if you would actually max this out, it would actually be 6% after causing burn damage up to 10 stacks. But again, because the burn damage is inconsistent in his kit, it's only up to like 60% when you max out his R2 skill. It would be kind of hard to stack it up to 10 times, but you could still see like the potential to do a lot of burn damage. Right, so before I give my final thoughts, I want to actually go through and look at an example of someone who's using Ugthak. So let's see if anyone's actually really using him. Oh, yeah, so at R5, yeah, we have one guy right here who's actually got a mythic to Ugthak. Let's take a look. So he's got it in this formation, which looks like it synergizes okay. All right, now looking here. Oh, so he's kind of got a mixed damage commander damage build here because he's actually gone into quite a bit of focus to help increase the amount of burn damage he does. But yeah, as you can see his skills here, he put 10 out of 10 to Pursuer, 10 out of 10 into Searing Axe, and the last bit into Uruk-hai Elite just for that extra formation damage in his formation. So yeah, like he also had Lord of the Arcane, which improves burn damage by 5% with only the two pair set. And then this gives focus, the drums give focus, this gives good focus. So yeah, he's kind of gone into commander damage along with focus to help bump up some of that burn damage. So yeah, it's actually a pretty interesting idea. I'd actually love to see the damage numbers on this. All right, guys, well, that's going to kind of wrap it up for Ugthak, but just to kind of give you my last thoughts on him. So, if I was to build him personally, I think it would be a lot more fun to build a troop damage Ugthak. The only problem I see is that it looks like his base command is only 16, which is extremely low and not very good. Meanwhile, his base damage for his attacks are 14 to 16, which isn't terrible. But also, since he only has he really only has one damaging skill. So, because Searing Axe is doing burn damage, it's not doing any extra damage on top of that. So I would go troop damage personally. And to do that, I would, of course, go the Gigantic Hammer into Hunter's Guide, into Ranger Shroud, of course. And I would finish it up with... Actually, because he does siege damage and you're going to have that probably maxed out, just go ahead and throw in an Orthanc Devilry because you're going to be doing more siege damage when you attack people, which could be good for destroying forts if you're hitting someone in a fort. So yeah, this would probably be how I would run him right here. And you can see, like, I don't even have everything maxed out here. It's 417, which is not bad command. Of course, you want it to be higher. I think you could probably max out about 500 because I'm missing about 40 command here, and this has nothing in it right now, but this gets up to 110? Maybe it's just 100. I don't remember the exact stats on the maxed out Orthanc Devilry, but yeah, that would give me about, give me pretty close to 500. So yeah, that's what I would kind of do with Ugthak. All right, so the last thing we're going to do here is go into our tier list. And here we are again. Just a reminder, in our last tier list, we had Mary and Prippen in the crazy tier. They are bad, so if you want to use them, you're pretty crazy. I still love crazy though. Don't forget that. All right, so today's was we had Ugthak, which should be down here, I think. Yep, here he is. All right, so you want to use Ugthak. Looking at his skills, he doesn't really do anything well. He doesn't do good troop damage. He doesn't do good commander damage. Burn is really bad as well. You're not going to get like any burn damage out of him, even if you do have it maxed out. So I'm going to again put him in the crazy. I don't think he's horrible. You're not insane for using him, but I think you're pretty crazy to put that much into him just to get not a whole lot out. He is definitely in the crazy tier for this episode. All right, guys. So as we can see in the first episodes, we have two crazy commanders. Hopefully in the next episode, we can get something that might be in the more meta loser or insane tier. It'll be fun to see. But with that, let's actually go to our spinner wheel and decide who's going to be in the next episode. All right, guys. Time to figure out who's going to be in episode 3. of the So You Want to Use series. Let's see who we're going to be deciding on now. Who do I have to make a video on? I really love Curon. I really hope it's Curon. It's going to be... Oh, for fuck's sakes. Alright, so looks like episode 3 is going to be Here Gone. We'll see how that goes. Until next time, guys, this has been zMetapod. I'm out.